Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Our next guest joins us from a gaming company, which is the indie developer behind Comish, a popular stock simulator game. They're doing some really cool stuff. The CEO and creative director and game designer with Opposite Lock Games is Jon Sheklow. Jon, welcome Into Tomorrow. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Thanks, Dave. I'm good. Nice speaking with you.
Good. How are things in Connecticut today? I understand you're there. I'm looking out your window. You can see it on the video at intotomorrow.com. Looks like a bright, sunny day.
Far from it. We're about to get a thunderstorm.
Oh, gee. Well, welcome to our Miami weather. I guess we send it up to you periodically. But anyway, tell me a little bit about the company, Opposite Lock Games, and then let's get into some of the cool stuff you're doing these days.
Sure thing. Opposite Lock Games is an independent game studio that I started in 2015. And we make games for mobile, iPhone, Android. A lot of what we do is kind of economic sandbox is what we call it. So playing with financial systems, playing with economic systems that you can tinker with and get reactions immediately. Our most popular game is called Comish. That is a stock market simulator, and it's kind of based in an 80s Gordon Gekko Wall Street world. And it does some pretty sophisticated things. It doesn't look like it, but it is pretty sophisticated. It pipes in real-time New York Stock Exchange data and lets players trade and compete to try to get the highest daily portfolio value, and there's prizes given every day. It actually, on iOS, there's Amazon gift card prizes. So it's really a fun kind of social competitive stock simulator.
So on Android, for those of us Android users, there are not prizes or different prizes?
Android does not allow us to give away gift cards or anything of value.
Really? I mean, usually that's the kind of thing we hear from Apple, restricting developers on all sorts of ways. But Google is not letting you give things away? That's really odd. We'll have to smack them around for that.
Please do.
Yeah, by all means. Now, does anyone have an opportunity to make money in the stock market doing this? Or is it really just kind of a fun way to maybe even learn about how to work with the stock market? It sounds to me like it's kind of an educational thing, too.
Yeah, that was one of our goals, was to give players, and one of our challenges as well, was to design it in a way that gave new players who were new to the stock market the ability to learn while they played and still had fun. As far as making money, that's the next stage. That's the evolution of the game. We're now speaking with a company that specializes in NFT games, blockchain games, and we are now working on the plans to create an extension that allows players to actually trade stocks that have underlying NFTs. So there is a real value to it.
And do our audience a favor and explain NFTs for those who may not be familiar.
NFTs they're sort of comparable to a cryptocurrency, and it's a unique identifier on a digital asset. So if we have a company, for example, in our game, we have fictitious companies. One of them is called Geronimo Airlines, right? Or Twin Tuna. And you can, if we make 1,000 shares of that company, each one of those shares is a unique digital asset on a blockchain. So when you have that one share, you're the only person in the world that owns that share. So that share can go up and down in value. If there's a lot of players in the game buying it, it's going to push the price higher. If a lot of players are selling it, it's going to drop the price lower. So our goal is to create a real organic working market that can be manipulated, that you can invest in, and you can actually turn NFTs back into real money. So there is real value there.
Good, and it sounds like you're able to skirt some of the Google developer issues with that too, which I kind of like that idea. I understand from your website that you use a platform for these games called Skills that can allow real money gaming. Is this part of that in Comish, or are these other games that you're working on?
Skills is a different. These are other games.
Okay.
Skills is a very interesting platform. They actually just went public recently on the New York Stock Exchange. They've been around, I think, since about 2012. But what they do is different. They actually allow. They're not actually. It's not allowed in all states. I think there's 13 states that don't allow it or something.
Oh.
But they allow players to actually bet on their games. So you play for real money. And each player puts in $5 up to, I think, $300 per game. For an iPhone, for a mobile game is pretty intense. Put $300 on a 3-minute game.
Yeah, but it's a lot better than mortgaging your house, hopefully, so you don't get too carried away.
But so players get to compete. The winner takes the pot, and Skills is a platform that handles all of that. And you can put it into pretty much any game as long as it's fair for both players. You can compete for real money. So I think that, personally, I think that's very much the future of gaming, to put real value on the line. It changes everything, and it makes things very exciting.
Yeah, so you do think it's the future. It's something we're going to see more of into tomorrow, if you will, not just a current fad.
Absolutely, with sports gambling becoming basically decriminalized federally recently in the last few years.
Yeah.
The U.S. government basically legalized sports gambling, and now it seems that all the states are kind of scrambling to bring it to the public. And I think it's going to come in a very broad-based way. And that idea of being able to gamble even a little bit as a form of entertainment and bring that into all types of video gaming, I definitely think that is the next stage of gaming.
I'm assuming, John, that you hear from folks that games can tend to be more fun when some real money is on the line. They can certainly be a little more scary for some people, but maybe that's part of the overall excitement.
Yeah, it adds a new level of excitement for sure. It's pretty captivating when you have even a little bit on the line. It also requires the players to really become a lot better at the game. I've played in for real money in these skills games, and I get stomped because the people playing for real money are very good.
Yeah, I can imagine. And they're very good at it because perhaps they do it a lot more frequently as well. Like anything else, practice makes perfect, or you get a better handle on all the different skills, pun intended perhaps, to be able to really get into it. I think it's fascinating. Again, could be dangerous. So if you're not sure, then don't bet a lot of money, or don't bet at all maybe. But if you like to gamble a little bit, maybe $5, $10 here and there, can't be any worse than buying a lotto ticket and not winning.
I agree. And Skills is nice because they also allow for practice gaming. You don't have to bet real money, but we've incorporated their SDK, their platform, into some of our games. It's going pretty well. I think they provide a really nice platform.
Good. And if you can incorporate their software developer kit into things that you do, then clearly you like what's going on, and your customers do, your players and various folks. Back to Comish for just a second, too. The first game we talked about, it seems like it was ahead of the curve on the new stock market craze. I mean, we've heard of Robinhood and a bunch of others. What does that all mean? Was that on purpose? Was it an accident? Did you happen to kind of fall into that at the right time in the right place?
Total accident, yes.
Well, that's good that you admit that, but it's working out for you, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I spent 10 years working in Manhattan as a stockbroker, and
wow.
And after that, wanted to take those experiences and kind of put them into a game that anyone could experience and have fun with. And And then, there has been a recent explosion in the interest of stock trading. There's a whole new generation of people getting interested in it. So that has really accelerated the game's popularity.
Are you guys working on any new skills games that might be coming out soon that we can chat about for a moment?
Definitely. We're working on a game called Wordplay Adventure, which is actually out on Apple. It's a combination of Tetris, where letters fall from the sky. It's a combination of Tetris and Scrabble.
Oh, wow.
So letters fall from the sky, and you can make any word out of them before they stack to the top. And that's going to be a skills game. So they're 3-minute rounds where you compete against another live player, and then you're scored using Scrabble scoring. And whoever gets the highest score wins that match, and you can play that for real money. So we're going to see how that goes.
Very cool. And will it also then be available ultimately on Android format as well?
No, because Android and Google, they're player haters. And they don't allow skills on their platform because, again, Google doesn't tolerate any sort of wagering, gaming type stuff.
Yeah, unless it's the money is for them, they're not interested, which again I find very odd because usually that's the case with Apple. We spend years talking about Apple getting every nickel they can out of anybody, especially developers. But again, whole other story. Is there a charge for these games for folks to download and play them? How does that all work real quick?
No, we don't charge. Our games are free, and we try to be as non-intrusive as possible with the advertising. So it's rewarded video advertising. If you want to click on an ad to earn this or that, which helps boost a little bit or make some progress, then you can click on a 30-second ad or not. So we really we want to make it a pleasant experience, and it's working so far.
Well, that's good. It sounds like it is. OppositeLockGames.com. Jon Sheklow is the CEO and creative director and game designer. So keep it up. Keep cranking out some fun things. I'm liking that word game that you're talking about, too. And I'm not a gamer at all. But something like that just sounds fascinating. And it's probably good to keep your mind a bit fresh. So that'll be another good reason. Thank you, Jon, for spending a few minutes with us. Continued good luck.
Dave, thank you very much.
Our pleasure. Again, OppositeLockGames.com. And of course, we'll get you there, as always, when you hit us up at IntoTomorrow.com. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned. There's much more to come on Into Tomorrow, right here on the Advanced Media Network.